Here on this channel, I tend to mainly cover JRPGs like Xeno, SMT, and Trails. If you see my list of videos though, you'll quickly notice that I have another love, one as deep as the darkest roast of Oh Dear Diner Coffee. That series is the Remedy Connected Universe, the games put together by the good Finns over at Remedy Entertainment. You may know Remedy from their classic Max Payne games, or Sam Lake dancing at the Game Awards to one of the greatest and dumbest songs imaginable, but their games and the world they've created over the last 30 years have captured the minds and hearts of most everyone who's played them. So, this video is for you, the JRPG fanatic who most likely knows absolutely nothing about their upcoming latest release, Control Resonant, and why you should play it this September. You might be thinking, oh, if I want to give this game a shot, I should play the others first to get a full picture. And if you're about to play them, then by no means let me stop you. But one of the best things about this franchise is that every new game, while they do take place after each other and pick up threads left off by others, are also standalone experiences. You can absolutely pick up Alan Wake 2 without playing anything else, and have a unique experience tailored to you piecing together a mystery like certain characters, while others who played Wake 1 would have a different one, and both are completely valid. Remedy's Connected Universe isn't so much a line as it is a web of spiraling interconnecting threads that drag you down ever deeper and deeper into its mysteries. And there is no incorrect way to start that process. It feels like unraveling a massive conspiracy, and whatever thread you choose to start tugging on will lead to the others and pull you in more and more no matter where you start. For instance, there's a character who appears in both Alan Wake 2 and the first Control. If you've only played one of those, you still get a full experience with that character for that story, and then when you play the other in either order, it expands that character while not distracting from their purpose in either standalone game. Starting with either doesn't spoil the other, in fact it just kind of makes the experience more tailored to your personal playthrough. In this way, don't ping me, I'll kill you. In this way, it feels a lot more like famous JRPG series like SMT and Xeno, where you can start anywhere and have a great time no matter what, like picking up your first puzzle piece randomly and still ending up with a completed image. For fans of more world-building driven JRPGs, I'd say start with a Control game. If you prefer character studies, then pick up an Alan Wake game. For cool concepts, give Quantum Break a try, and for vibes above all else, I cannot recommend Max Payne enough. Remedy's games take cues from every corner of fiction, and this new game is no different. Game director Mikhail Kasanin, sorry if I butchered that, has gone on record citing some big influences for Control Resonant, like the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion and Attack on Titan, games like Devil May Cry, and shows like The X-Files and Twin Peaks. Remedy feels like you took everything from anime to new weird literature to prestige television, and then you threw them all into a blender. When it comes out, while you can definitely taste each individual flavor, the combined taste is wholly unique, especially with how it's packaged too. So I've danced around pitching this new game for a bit now, but why should you play Control Resonant specifically? The heck is it even about? And the easiest pitch I can give to this game is that the organization who tries to protect the world from supernatural forces beyond their comprehension have finally failed. And New York City, specifically Manhattan, has been completely taken over and warped like it's in an Inception scene. The only hope that they have to try and bring things back under control, pun intended, is a young man named Dylan Faden, who was locked away for almost all his life for having powers deemed too dangerous. Other than that, Remedy has been extremely tight-lipped with spoilers, so I'll take this opportunity to instead talk about what this series means to me personally, and why I think if you like JRPGs that I'm into, this game will be perfect for you. I first started the RCU in 2020 with Control, and quickly found myself falling down the rabbit hole of connecting lore and theories, none of which will spoil here, but they kept me glued to my seat for the past 6 years. Everyone had a COVID project, right? Mine was this binder where I printed out every single collectible from Control and organized them in timeline order to help me theorize. I still have that binder, though I'm not updating it physically anymore. The Binder 2.0, so to speak, is digital and contains every canon lore document from all the Remedy games. I know I'll be updating it soon enough with Resonance documents, so feel free to check it out in the description. As I started investigating this ever-deepening world, I really couldn't help but compare it to what JRPGs have done so well for me in their storytelling too, mainly their lore. Reading all the collectibles, hearing accounts of past events, and learning more and more about characters I cared about in the present made me think of how I did the same things in the Xeno and SMT series, and what I'm doing now as I make my way through the Trails series for the first time. The lore doesn't distract from each character's story either, as characters in this franchise have become some of my favorites in fiction, particularly Alan, Saga, and Beth. Each character feels like the world and lore serves their stories rather than the other way around, which is definitely a feat with world building and lore as dense as these games. The OSTs are fantastic also, with that goofy rock number from the Game Awards being just the tip of the iceberg. Remedy have also gone on record saying that music will play a large part in Control Resonant from multiple angles, as Dylan's characterization will involve music in his journey of self-discovery. The main composer for Remedy games is Petriolanko, and while the lyrical songs from Poets of the Fall might be more catchy, his scores are nothing to sneeze at too, including that reveal trailer song, Obsessive Compulsive Order. I think one of the best part of all Remedy games, from music to narrative to gameplay, is how varied they are and unafraid to take risks. The original Max Payne pioneered bullet time shooting in video games. Alan Wake adds light mechanics to classic survival horror, alongside some crazy reality-bending detective and puzzle mechanics. Quantum Break messes with freezing time altogether in small areas, and both Controls are combat sandbox powerhouses. One thing I'm extremely excited for with Control Resonant is that you are forced to build craft in that game, since you literally can't have every ability at the same time, and you can respec Dylan whenever you want into a new kind of build based on your playstyle. All in all, Remedy games are like no other, and if you're as big a fan as I am of the other things I cover here, you owe it to yourself to give this franchise a shot with Control Resonant when it launches on September 24th. Hey, this is another short video, I just wanted to get out the door. I really cannot wait for Control Resonant. It is up there with Trail Second Chapter Remake as the most anticipated thing I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year. It's gonna be horrible for me though, because I'll only have 5 days to play Second Chapter Remake before I get the Control Resonant Early Access on my PS5, but I'm just gonna have so much fun, and I hope you will too. I'm working on some bigger scripts. I'm hoping that they'll be out the door soon as well. But for now, take care of yourselves and have a good one.